Hey everybody, today we're going to be making some fire roasted hot sauce. First off, with our fresh ingredients, we're going to be using about 25 chilies. I have orange habaneros here, a few fatales, a Carolina Reaper, a Butch Tea, and some red ghost chilies. Along with that, you're going to use one poblano pepper, one lime, one lemon, one large sweet onion quartered, and one head of garlic. So with the fresh ingredients, everything except the lime and the lemon are going to get roasted on the grill, and I have that preheating now. I'm going to get it up to about 250, and we're going to put everything on there and probably do 5 minutes per side and get a nice roast going on with all this stuff. So let's head out there and we'll get started. Okay everyone, we've got the grills preheated, so we're just going to start adding our ingredients. Start with the poblano. Normally my grill, the lower right is going to be the hot spot, so I want the poblano to be there along with the onions. So get those on there. Sorry for the noise, I live next to the highway. Okay. I don't want the habaneros and the other hot chilies to be in the hot spot because they'll just turn to charcoal. So I'm going to put them up top here where it doesn't get as hot. Alright. Don't worry about the stems. The stems are going to fall right off when we're done with this. They're getting spread out so they're all touching the surface of the grill. Alright. Last, the garlic. Garlic can be tricky because you're going to get some smaller pieces. I have a kind of a flat surface here that doesn't have a gap in the grates, so I'm going to put it there so it doesn't fall through. Alright, again, make sure all the garlic's touching. Alright, so we've got all our stuff on there. We're going to let it sit for about 5 minutes and come back and turn it over and see how it's roasted. It's been about 5 minutes, so we're going to go ahead and flip everything here and make sure you have a good view. Alright, so you can see like the poblano, it's got a nice char to it. Onions, I don't want them to fall apart, so they're just going to stay put. All these peppers, just give them a little twist. Like I said, this is not the hot part of the grill, so some of these might not look really charred too much, but that's okay. They don't really need to be that charred. Something like that, that's probably just about right, maybe even a little bit too much. So let's give everything a flip. These chilies are going to start getting real soft, kind of mushy. So just be careful with them when you're flipping them. Get this, and then another 5 minutes and we'll be done. We'll be done roasting. It really is starting to smell good. Might burn your nose a little bit. We've got a big breeze outside today, so it's not really burning my nose too much. Anyway, get all those flipped. I'll try to move the garlic around a little bit without having them fall off that plate. Alright. So yeah. That's it for that. Let me get close up here. Got a nice char on most of it. Alright. And we'll close the grill up and let it go for another 5 minutes. Okay everyone, we're done roasting here, so let's check this out. The poblano looks nice and charred there. I'm just going to put everything in a bowl for now. Alright, so start with the large stuff. Get it all in here. Be careful a little bit because there's going to be some fumes coming off these chilies. Might burn your eyes a little bit. stems are already falling off. Like I said before, once we go to put these in the blender to mix everything up, those stems will just pop right off. Okay. Finish up with our garlic. All right. Turn our grill off and let's head inside. Okay everyone, we have our roasted ingredients inside here. You're going to want to let them cool off for about 10 minutes so they're easy to handle. While you're waiting for them to cool, go ahead and set up a sterile canning station for when we're ready to get all the canning, and bring a pot of water to a boil on your stove for a hot water bath with the canning. Okay, so first off, we're going to take all our roasted chilies. This one, the stem already fell off, so it's good to go. The others, if it has a stem, I mean, they're roasted, so it just peels right off. So, de-stem all your chilies and toss them in the blender. Alright, and when I quartered the sweet onions, I left the base of it on so it would hold the onion together and it wouldn't fall apart on the grill. So before we put that into the blender, we're just going to go ahead and cut off that section of the onion. You don't want to put that in your sauce. So we'll just finish up de-stemming these chilies and toss the garlic in there while I'm at it. Alright, as far as the canning and everything else goes, I didn't really want to put too much time into explaining it in this video, just to save some time so you guys don't have to sit through that if you already know how to do it. If you're curious or you want to know the procedure or how to can with the sterile canning station and the hot water bath, you can look it up online, or if you watch my other sauce video, I go into detail on how to do that. So some of the stems might be tricky to pull off. Just make sure you're not pulling off a bunch of placenta with it, because you want as much of the chili in your sauce as you can get. Alright. We're almost finished with these chilies. Notice I have gloves on. I have kids and an infant, so gloves are a necessity. It's not for my own well-being, it's for theirs. You know, if you have kids or pets or anything, make sure you put gloves on. That way you're not getting chili oil all over your hands, okay? If not, if you don't have kids or anything, don't worry about it. If you can take the pain on getting some chili oil on your hands, go for it. Okay, that's all the chilies. I'm going to do the poblano real quick. For the poblano, where the stem's attached, there's a big indent, so normally what I do, I'm going to take one glove off so I can handle my knife. Just go down as far as the, how far it goes in, and then just cut that section off. You could trim it around it if you really want to. I'm not worried about that much of the poblano, and just toss it in there. Alright? Actually, go ahead and cut it up to make more room for the other ingredients. You could toss it in whole or whatever. It doesn't really matter so much. I'm just trying to conserve on some room here. Okay, the onions, like I said, I left this part on so the onion would stay together while we were roasting it on the grill. Just cut that off. Right, and then your onion's just going to fall to pieces now. Do that with all the parts there. Alright, and that's it for that. Once you have all your roasted ingredients in, next step go ahead and get yourself a wire mesh strainer, put it on top there, and you're going to get your lemon and your lime. What I do, I find a hard surface, a table or something, put it on the table, put your palm of the hand on top, put pressure down and roll it. That's going to break up the inside a little bit and make it a lot easier to juice. Okay, so let's cut these in half. Well, might need to sharpen my knife here. There we go. Okay, and then just give it a good squeeze. Right over the mesh strainer here. The good thing about using a lemon and a lime, you're not going to have to use as much vinegar, and you're not going to taste as much vinegar in the sauce. I myself like vinegar-based sauces, but this is a sauce where you don't want the vinegar to overpower the flavors that you get. So, get that squeezed out. Other half. Alright, lime. A bit more juice in this one. If you have any cuts, these will let you know. Alright, I'm going to give my hands a quick rinse here. If you have a bunch of pulp in your strainer, go ahead and just either use your hand or get a spoon and just do a circular motion on the top. It'll push the rest of the juice through your strainer without the pulp. Alright. Next up, your white vinegar. We're going to go with 1 cup. Alright. 1 cup white vinegar. Next up, honey. I'm going to go ahead and go with a half a cup of this honey. You can go with a little bit less if you want. For the brown sugar, which is next, you can omit that from the recipe if you don't want a little bit more sweetness in the sauce. I think it just helps to bring out the flavor a little bit more. Okay. Use the spoon to make sure all the honey goes in. Right. Now up is going to be the liquid smoke. This is the hickory flavor, like I said I was using. They had a mesquite flavor as well. You can go with whatever you prefer. I'm just going with the hickory this time. So, I think it has a double seal. So I'll just go ahead and give it a couple squirts. If you want to do exact measurements, I guess you could go with maybe 1 tablespoon. I'm just going to do 2 squirts there, and that should be more than enough. Okay, brown sugar. We're doing 1/4 cup light brown sugar. Salt, 1 tablespoon. I'm just using the Morton salt. A lot of people say to use certain types of salt for canning. This is what I've always used, and it works just fine for me. Alright, your black pepper. You can use already ground black pepper if you want. I use the peppercorns and just grind it in there until it looks like it's about, maybe a little bit under a tablespoon. Alright, now our curry powder. This stuff is pretty strong, so it's going to add a really nice flavor profile in this sauce. Okay. We'll go with 1 tablespoon. And then it's time to blend. You want this to blend very well, so this could take up to 5 minutes to blend it thoroughly, so let's get started. Alright guys, I stopped blending for just a minute. There's one ingredient I forgot. I had just picked this up. It's a Hungarian hot wax paprika. We're going to add 2 tablespoons of this. It's going to give it a really nice color along with a little bit more flavor with the Hungarian hot wax peppers. Alright, so 2 tablespoons of that and continue blending. Okay, we blended for between 3 and 5 minutes, and we'll check it out. Make sure it's well blended. There's going to be some fumes, so don't stick your face right over the top of the blender. Alright. Perfect. We got a little taste test here. Oh yeah, spot on. Okay guys, so we're blended up. Let's get to the canning. Okay, this is our sterile canning station. Make sure anytime that you're near this or you're going to touch anything on it, wash your hands first. Okay? So we got our funnel in here, and we're just going to start filling it up. Alright. You want to leave a little bit of space between the sauce and where the lid's going to be at. That air is going to help seal it when we give it a hot water bath. I thought I was going to get 6 cans out of it, but I might. It's going to be close. It's going to be real close. No, I'm getting 5. So we'll get 5 cans out of that one batch, which is not bad at all. Go ahead and top these off a little bit for the remaining sauce here. Alright, so now we're ready for our hot water bath. I'll take the unused jar, put it away. Put your lids on. Okay. And then for your seals here, you're going to twist them on, but just barely twist them on until they don't tighten them real tight, what you want to do is you just put it on and lightly twist it with your fingertips, and as soon as it starts sliding against your fingers, it's tight enough. Because you want the air to escape once these get heated up in the hot water bath. And then once they cool off, you'll hear the tops pop in and they're sealed. They'll stay fresh for a good amount of time. Alright. Alright, that's it. So let's get these 5 cans into the hot water bath and get them cooking. Okay, we have our 5 cans into the hot water bath. We're going to let this go for about 5 minutes and then we'll take them out to cool off. Alright, our sauce is done. I just took it out of the hot water bath and I'm going to go ahead and get a pair of oven mitts on and tighten down these lids. Alright, you don't have to do this. I like to. Just make sure you don't push down on the center cap. You want those to pop on their own. That tells you they have a proper seal. Alright, so just give them all a turn and let them sit. Okay, we had our sauce in the hot water bath for about 5 to 10 minutes. I took it all out and we're going to let them sit and they're going to start sealing themselves. You might hear that if you hear a popping sound. The center lid's sucking down and that means there's a proper seal on it. So there's a little bit of sauce left that I had in here. So there's one. Let me get a close up for you. Alright, you can see a little bit. This stuff's pretty thick. And that's how we want it. This is a nice thick sauce. You gotta be careful though because it's pretty hot. Ooh. Yeah, the heat's immediate. Really good flavor. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. This sauce is definitely my favorite homemade sauce as far as a recipe I came up with. I've been messing around with recipes for a while and I wanted a nice thick fire roasted sauce, and I think this is going to do it for me. You know, if you guys decide to make it, you know, make it, try it, let me know what you think about it. If you want to have a bigger batch, obviously, I try to make a full case every time I do, so you could double it and you can get 10, maybe 12, depending on how many chilies you use. There's another one, I love that sound. So, another thing, instead of trying to use this jar by jar and like spooning it out onto your food, I have a recycled sriracha bottle. So just take 2 of these. If you have the smaller size sriracha bottle, you can dump them in there and keep it sealed, and that can be your condiment jar for this sauce. It works great. It's not too thick to get stuck in the spout as long as you make sure it's blended very, very well. So yeah guys, I hope you enjoyed the video and make this sauce and try it out. I'll see you next time.